Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special conversation about life, relationships, and what truly matters as we grow older. Today, we're going to talk about some lessons that can make a real difference in how we connect with others. The beauty of growing older is that every single day brings an opportunity to learn, grow, and deepen our connections with those around us. That's what this video is about. Understanding how we can communicate with kindness, share our joys with humility, and strengthen the relationships that matter most. We'll dive into 5 key areas where sometimes, without even realizing it, we might say or share things that come across the wrong way. It's not about walking on eggshells or hiding your true self. It's about being mindful of how our words impact those around us. After all, life is about connection, isn't it? And as we grow older, those connections become even more precious. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when a new video drops. Your support truly makes a difference. If you found value in this video, a like and share would mean a lot in helping me reach more people with these important lessons. And I'd love to hear from you. If you're enjoying this topic, leave a 1 in the comments or a 0 if you'd like to see something different. Your feedback helps me improve and bring you the content you want. So, why is this conversation important? Because I know that deep down, we all want to feel valued, loved, and understood. And we want the people around us to feel the same. Stay with me because I promise you, the things we'll talk about today will resonate with your heart and soul. Point 1. Your health and physical strength. As we grow older, many of us feel a deep sense of gratitude for the health and vitality we've managed to maintain. It's a blessing, no doubt about it, especially when you think about all the years of life experience you've packed into this journey. Staying active, feeling strong, and waking up each morning with energy, it's something to be thankful for, isn't it? But here's the thing. While celebrating our good health is natural, how we talk about it matters just as much as how we feel about it. Let's start with a simple truth. Not everyone is walking the same path. Many of the people around you might be dealing with health challenges, physical limitations, or the natural decline that often comes with aging. And when we talk too much about our own strength or well-being, it can unintentionally make others feel excluded or even inadequate. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone kept going on about how fantastic they feel while you were silently coping with a bad back or an aching knee? It doesn't feel great, does it? That's why it's so important to share our experiences with care and empathy. Instead of focusing on how great you feel, try shifting the perspective. For instance, if you found a way to stay active, like through a daily walk or a hobby you love, share that as an encouragement for others. Say something like, "I've really enjoyed my morning walks. It's such a peaceful way to start the day." What's something you enjoy doing to stay active? That simple question can open the door to a meaningful conversation where everyone feels included. Another thing to keep in mind is that health isn't just about the physical side of things. It's also about emotional and mental well-being. Maybe you've discovered a way to manage stress, like journaling or practicing gratitude. Sharing those tips can be incredibly helpful to someone else who might be struggling. And the best part? It's not boastful, it's supportive. It shows that you care about the well-being of others, not just your own. Of course, this doesn't mean you can't take pride in the effort you've put into staying healthy. If you've worked hard to maintain a healthy lifestyle, that's worth celebrating. But it's all about balance. Share your story in a way that inspires, not in a way that feels like a comparison. For example, instead of saying, "I've never felt better in my life," you might say, "I've been focusing on my health lately, and it's made a real difference." I'd love to hear what works for you. That small shift can make a world of difference in how your words are received. Remember, empathy is the key to meaningful connections. When you approach conversations about health with understanding, you're not just sharing your experiences. You're creating a space where others feel safe to share theirs too. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Building connections, not barriers. So the next time you're tempted to talk about how strong or healthy you feel, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, how can I share this in a way that uplifts others? Because when we bring humility and kindness into our conversations, we don't just celebrate our own health. We nurture the relationships that keep us truly strong. Point 2. Your financial success or wealth. Money, as they say, makes the world go round. And for many of us, Financial stability is the result of decades of hard work, wise decisions, and sometimes even a bit of good fortune. It's natural to feel a sense of pride in achieving financial security, especially when you've reached a stage in life where you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. But here's the catch. How you talk about your financial success can have a significant impact on the people around you. Let's be honest, not everyone's financial journey is the same. While you may feel proud of your investments, savings, or the comfortable life you've built, others might be facing very different realities. Some may be dealing with financial setbacks, struggling to make ends meet, or feeling anxious about their future. And when conversations become centered on wealth, it can unintentionally create feelings of envy, inadequacy, or even resentment. Think about it this way. Imagine you're at a gathering, and someone keeps talking about their latest investment or the vacation home they just bought. Even if they don't mean to, it can make others feel small, especially if they're dealing with tight budgets or financial worries. The same is true for us when we share too much about our own financial success. It's not that we can't talk about money at all. It's about being mindful of how and when we do. So, how can you celebrate your financial achievements without alienating others? One simple way is to focus on the values behind your success rather than the numbers. For instance, instead of saying, "I've saved so much money this year," you could say, "I've learned so much about budgeting and planning over the years. It's made a real difference for me." This shifts the focus to lessons and growth, which can be relatable and inspiring rather than intimidating. Another important thing to remember is that financial success doesn't define who you are. The true measure of a person lies in their kindness, empathy, and the positive impact they have on others, not the size of their bank account. When we overly emphasize wealth in our conversations, it risks overshadowing the deeper qualities that make us valuable to the people in our lives. Instead of centering conversations on material accomplishments, try steering them toward shared experiences or meaningful topics. For example, you could talk about how you've used your resources to create memorable moments with loved ones or support causes you care about. These are the kinds of stories that inspire connection and remind everyone that true richness comes from relationships and shared joy. It's also worth noting that not everyone values money in the same way. For some, happiness comes from simple pleasures, not material wealth. By shifting the focus of your conversations from financial success to universal values like gratitude, generosity, and shared experiences, you can ensure that everyone feels included and valued. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of listening. If someone around you is opening up about their financial challenges, take the time to truly hear them out without shifting the focus back to your own situation. Sometimes, just offering understanding and support can mean more than any advice or success story. Point 3. Your perfect family life. Family is one of life's greatest blessings. For many of us, the love and support we share with our family is a cornerstone of happiness. Whether it's the pride we feel in our children's accomplishments, the joy of spending time with grandchildren, or the deep connection with a partner, these moments can be the highlight of our lives. But while it's natural to feel proud of your family, how you talk about it matters, especially when it comes to connecting with others. Here's the truth. Not everyone has a picture-perfect family. Many people face challenges within their families, whether it's strained relationships, loss, or feelings of disappointment. When we talk too much about our own family's happiness or success, it can unintentionally make others feel isolated or inadequate. For instance, someone who is grieving the loss of a loved one or navigating a difficult relationship might feel alienated when all they hear are glowing stories of perfect family moments. Now, this doesn't mean you should hide your joy or downplay your love for your family. It simply means sharing those moments in a way that's thoughtful and inclusive. Instead of saying, "My children are so successful, they've achieved everything they ever wanted," you could say, "I'm really proud of the path my children are on. It's been wonderful watching them grow." This subtle shift makes the statement less about comparison and more about personal gratitude. Another way to approach conversations about family is by inviting others to share their own experiences. For example, if you're talking about a special moment with your grandchild, you might say, "Spending time with my granddaughter has been so special lately. What are some of your favorite family memories?" This not only shows interest in others' lives, but also creates an opportunity for connection and shared understanding. It's also important to recognize that families come in all shapes and sizes. Some people don't have traditional family structures, and their closest bonds may be with friends, mentors, or chosen family. By acknowledging and respecting these diverse experiences, you help create a space where everyone feels seen and valued. Another thing to consider is that family relationships aren't always smooth sailing. If someone shares a challenge they're facing with a loved one, try to respond with empathy rather than steering the conversation back to your own family's successes. Sometimes, the most meaningful thing you can do is simply listen and offer support. And let's not forget that life is unpredictable. The joy and harmony you experience with your family today could change tomorrow, and showing humility about your blessings helps keep your relationships grounded. When you approach conversations with this perspective, it not only strengthens your connections with others, but also deepens your own appreciation for the moments that matter. Point 4. Your sexual or romantic life. Romance and intimacy are wonderful aspects of life, no matter your age. Sharing a deep connection with a partner can bring a sense of joy, fulfillment, and companionship that enriches our days. And if you're fortunate enough to have a happy and healthy romantic relationship, it's natural to feel proud and want to talk about it. But when it comes to discussing your romantic or sexual life, it's important to tread carefully, especially as we grow older. Let's face it, conversations about relationships and intimacy can be sensitive topics. While you may feel blessed to have a thriving romantic life, others might be navigating a very different reality. Loneliness, the loss of a partner, or struggles within a relationship are challenges that many people face, and hearing someone else talk about their romantic triumphs can sometimes bring up feelings of sadness, frustration, or inadequacy. Now, this doesn't mean you should hide your happiness or avoid talking about your relationship altogether. It's about being thoughtful and respectful in how you share. For example, instead of saying, "My partner and I have the perfect relationship, we've never been happier," you might frame it as, "I've been really grateful for the support and connection I share with my partner. It's something I deeply value." This way, you're expressing your joy without implying that your experience is the standard everyone should meet. It's also important to consider the context of your conversations. If you're with someone who's recently lost a spouse or is struggling with a breakup, take extra care with your words. Showing empathy and sensitivity can make a big difference. For instance, you might say, "I'm so sorry for what you're going through. I can't imagine how hard that must be." Simple, heartfelt words like these show that you're thinking of their feelings rather than focusing on your own experiences. Another thing to keep in mind is that intimacy evolves as we age. What romance looks like at 70 may be different from what it looked like at 30, and that's perfectly okay. Instead of focusing on youthful ideals of romance, try celebrating the deeper aspects of connection, like companionship, trust, and shared memories. These are the things that resonate most deeply, especially in later years. It's also helpful to remember that not everyone wants to talk openly about their romantic or sexual lives. For some, these topics are private, and that's perfectly valid. Respecting these boundaries is an essential part of fostering meaningful relationships. If someone seems uncomfortable or hesitant when the topic comes up, it's a good idea to steer the conversation in a different direction. If you do want to share something about your relationship, try framing it in a way that opens the door for others to share their own experiences. For instance, you might say, "One thing I've learned in my relationship is the importance of patience and understanding. What's something you've learned about relationships over the years?" This approach invites connection and makes the conversation feel inclusive rather than one-sided. Point 5. Your long life or longevity. Living a long life is a gift, a precious opportunity to experience the world, build relationships, and leave a meaningful legacy. If you've been fortunate enough to enjoy many years on this earth, it's something worth cherishing. But when it comes to talking about your longevity, it's important to approach the topic with a sense of humility and awareness. Here's the reality. Not everyone has been granted the same number of years. For some, life has been cut short by illness, accidents, or other unforeseen circumstances. Others may be facing health challenges that make each year feel uncertain. When we focus too much on the length of our lives, it can unintentionally highlight the struggles or losses others have faced. For example, a friend who has recently lost a loved one or is dealing with a serious illness may find conversations about longevity bittersweet or even painful. This doesn't mean you should avoid talking about your age or your experiences entirely. It's about how you frame those conversations. Instead of focusing on the number of years you've lived, try focusing on the wisdom, lessons, and memories you've gained along the way. For instance, rather than saying, "I'm 85 and still going strong," you might say, "I feel so grateful for the experiences I've had over the years. They've taught me so much about life." This shift emphasizes gratitude and reflection rather than comparison. Another thing to consider is that longevity isn't just about the number of years. It's about how we choose to live those years. It's the quality of our relationships, the joy we find in everyday moments, and the ways we make a positive impact on the world around us. When you talk about your life, focus on these meaningful aspects. Share the lessons you've learned, the values you hold dear, and the ways you've found purpose and fulfillment. These are the things that truly inspire and connect us. It's also important to recognize that long life often comes with its share of challenges. As we age, we may face physical limitations, the loss of loved ones, or changes in our circumstances. Acknowledging these realities shows humility and makes your stories more relatable. For example, you might say, "I've been blessed with many years, but I've also learned that life is never without its challenges. What's helped me most is finding something to be grateful for every day." This kind of openness can foster deeper conversations and mutual understanding. When discussing longevity, consider how you can use your experiences to support and encourage others. Perhaps you've found ways to stay engaged and active, or maybe you've discovered the importance of nurturing relationships. Sharing these insights can be incredibly valuable to those around you. Just remember to do so in a way that feels inclusive and uplifting, rather than self-congratulatory. Finally, remember that everyone's journey is unique. Some people may not have had the same opportunities or good fortune that you've experienced. By approaching the topic of longevity with sensitivity and empathy, you can ensure that your conversations bring people together rather than creating distance. In the end, the true gift of a long life lies in the wisdom and love we can share with others. It's not about how many years we've lived. It's about the impact we've had and the connections we've built along the way. So, when you talk about your life, let it be a celebration of the moments that matter most, and a source of encouragement and inspiration for those around you. As we wrap up this conversation, I want to thank you for taking the time to reflect with me on some of life's most meaningful lessons. It's never easy to pause and examine the way we share our joys and experiences, but it's such an important step in building stronger, more compassionate connections with those around us. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one lesson from today's conversation that resonated with you? Or is there a piece of wisdom you'd like to share about creating meaningful connections as we grow older? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to read what you have to say. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means so much and helps us continue creating content that adds value to your life. Let's spread these lessons far and wide so more people can experience the joy of connection and understanding. As you go about your day, remember this. It's not the years in your life, but the life in your years that truly matters. Cherish the moments, nurture your relationships, and approach every conversation with kindness. Thank you for being here with me today. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.